Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. In today's video, I wanted to talk about a case that has potential to be, a missing 411 case. A case maybe potentially involving Bigfoot. Recently, I was talking to my friend Ken Walker, and if you don't know who Ken Walker is, he's the world champion taxidermist who is in some of my Expedition Sasquatch videos. He's the guy who created a replica Patty from the Patterson-Gimlin film. And you can see in some of the shots here, he did a pretty decent job of recreating that. Ken is, a Sasquatch enthusiast. He is probably one of the most knowledgeable guys in my neck of the woods on the topic. So he knows a lot of stories and a lot of anecdotes, and this is something that he brought to my attention. So back, I think it was in the late 90s, a guy named Michel Trudeau, who is Justin Trudeau's brother, and Justin Trudeau is obviously the Prime Minister of Canada. This guy, Michel Trudeau, was skiing in British Columbia at a place called Kokanee Lake, and I guess there was an avalanche of some sort, and it swept them into the water, and Michel Trudeau was in the lake, and he wasn't able to get out, and he drowned and died, and that's the story. But Ken was saying that he thinks there's potential for this to be like a Bigfoot-related missing 411 case because they weren't able to recover this guy's body. Now, if you look at pictures of Kokanee Lake, it is not a very big lake at all, and on a nice day, the water is crystal clear. Like, it's a crystal clear glacial lake. You can see right to the bottom of it, pretty much from anywhere in the lake when the water's calm. There's a news segment that kind of came out about it on CBC, and I'll let you guys just watch it right now so you can get a little idea of what they're saying happened.
Michel Trudeau was an experienced outdoorsman who loved and respected nature, but nature got the better of him. The youngest son of the former Prime Minister was on a skiing trip in Kokanee Glacier Park near Nelson, British Columbia, when an avalanche swept him off the mountain and into Kokanee Lake. With more on the tragedy, here's the CBC's Kelly Crow.
Any icing reports or?
Local pilots spent the day checking the weather report and watching the skies. So far, low clouds have kept anyone from getting into the area where 23-year-old Michel Trudeau drowned on Friday, swept into a glacial lake by an early winter avalanche, while 3 of his friends watched helplessly from shore.
They were making their way down the trail with touring-style skis. So it was, if you can imagine, they were in the water with backpacks, winter gear, and skis. And from this, we learned that he was unable to get himself to the shore, struggling with his gear.
Born into fame as the youngest son of then Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau and his wife Margaret, Michel Trudeau grew up out of the spotlight, learning to live and love adventure in Canada's western mountain ranges. Just last month, he was featured on a CBC special talking about his mother.
The scary wide world sometimes catches her unawares because it's sometimes so incomprehensible that people can't be as kind and as gentle as she is.
Local experts say the skiers were well prepared for their 3-day trip in the Kokanee Glacier Provincial Park. They carried avalanche equipment and even tested the slopes for stability before setting out for home on Friday. But the sudden heavy wet snowfall made an already avalanche-prone area even more dangerous.
Wet snow, when it's moving, has a tremendous amount of energy. It's almost like concrete coming out of the back of a concrete truck where it just wants to flow. Nelson RCMP Constable Randy Cook says he talked briefly to Michel's father.
He's deeply shaken by this. He was very, very quiet, and but asked us to go on and to do what we had to do to recover the body and to keep him informed.
A spokesman for the Trudeau family released this statement saying, Michel's parents are deeply saddened by the report of his death. They appreciate the many expressions of sympathy they have received and ask that the family be given privacy. So the grim wait continues here for the first chance to get up in the mountains and begin the search. But police are not optimistic that this low cloud cover will lift even by morning. And before the divers can begin, avalanche experts still have to fly over the area and drop explosives to loosen the still dangerous snow. Kelly Crow, CBC News, Nelson, British Columbia.
Now this guy, like Michel Trudeau, is Justin Trudeau's brother and Pierre Trudeau's son. So he's already like quite famous because Pierre Trudeau was also, you know, Prime Minister of Canada at one point. So this is someone where, like, you would think they would do whatever they could to get this guy's body. Whether it being waiting for the weather to clear up, you know, you'd think they would go in with the divers and get the body. Even if they had to wait till the summertime, on a nice day, the body would still be there. And you would think, you know, nowadays even, there'd be bones or something, some sort of remains at the bottom of that lake that you would be able to see. If you took a canoe out onto that lake in the summer on a nice clear day, when the water's calm, you'd be able to see everything. So why are they saying that this guy's body was not found and not recovered? Well, Ken suspects that something else may have happened. It could have been a missing 411 case. The guy could have just vanished and disappeared under strange circumstances. You know, potentially, you know, Bigfoot running off with him or whatever, you know. This is in British Columbia. This is Sasquatch territory. I'm sure there's lots of Bigfoot reports in that general area. You're up in the mountains and there's, you know, remote wilderness all around you. So it does have potential to be a Bigfoot-related missing 411 case, and I don't see why divers, high-altitude divers, wouldn't be able to recover the remains of this guy. Even to this day, there has to be something there that you could see. It's a small lake, small crystal clear lake. And there are high-altitude divers and cold-water divers, you know. They should be able to go in there and search the bottom of the lake and find this guy's remains. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do it, even in like the spring or summertime, you know. If you look at the pictures of this lake, you know, you think to yourself, what is stopping these people from going in there and finding this guy? Well, I think it's possible that he might not even be in the lake. He might have been taken or vanished somehow, you know. So there's probably something going on there that they're not talking about, and the official story is he was caught up in an avalanche and, you know, swept into the water and drowned because he had all his ski gear on. That's at least what they're saying in the story. But none of his friends were missing or dead. You know, I wonder what they have to say about it, about what happened. Back probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I think about 6 years ago, there was a guy from Red Deer, Alberta. He worked at a rec center, like a you know, recreation fitness facility in Red Deer, and he went swimming in a lake in Jasper National Park. And a person I knew closely at the time was friends with him, was really good friends with him, and he went swimming in this lake in Jasper, and he just vanished. He just disappeared, and there was a friend with him that was at the shore of this lake, and he didn't even know what happened to him. They think he drowned, but they couldn't find this guy's body, like, at all. They had divers there, and they couldn't find him. It was just like he just went for a swim and completely just disappeared. So weird stuff like that does happen, and it happens more often than you think. So I don't think it's completely out of the question to speculate that something more than an avalanche happened to Michel Trudeau. I mean, it is purely speculation, right? Like, this is just a theory of Ken's, and he kind of made some good points to make me think that, yeah, like, why wouldn't they be able to get his body, at least at some point, you know, after this all happened? Like, I can't think of anything that would be stopping them from, like, scouring the bottom of that small lake, that crystal clear lake, and recovering whatever they could. This isn't just some guy either. This is the son of a prime minister, the brother of a future prime minister. This is someone born into fame, somebody whose family has, you know, resources. And they just, you know, left him there and said, oh, you know, there's an avalanche. We couldn't find it. We can't get to his body because of bad weather. We'll just leave him. Like, I don't think so. I think anybody, if they had the resources, would do whatever they could to, you know, get their family member. And it just didn't happen. At least that's what they're saying. Like, Ken's theory and what I'm thinking now is that, you know, something else happened. Something took this guy, and they were forced to come up with a story you know, as to why he vanished. And I guess it could be something else. Like, it doesn't have to be a missing 411 Bigfoot case. It could have been something completely different. Like, maybe he was murdered or abducted by aliens or something crazy. But it just doesn't add up, you know? So it is kind of interesting to think about. Anyways, like I said, purely speculation. This is just a theory. This is, like, you know, it might not even be true at all. It could have just been an avalanche and there's something I'm missing. So, anyways, think of it what you will. I want to know what you guys think about this. Like, look at these photos of the lake and just think to yourself, would they really not be able to recover this guy's body? You know? That's all I have for today's video. If you want to support Mountain Beast Mysteries, you can do so using the GoFundMe link in the video description. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. We'll see you next time on Mountain Beast Mysteries.